Lucy Garner is already a junior world champion in the road race.
It can be a bit scary, but that is part of the job. It's kind of a thrill. I like seeing how fast I can go. I am Lucy Garner. I've done everything that I can. There's nothing I can change now. I know that I've trained enough, I know that I've prepared well for the race, so there's no going back. You've just got to go out there and do it.
Her style is, she's a road sprinter. She has an incredible acceleration, great kick, very high top-end speed, and really sort of excels on the flat stages. So you know, her aim, I think, is to become world champion at senior level, potentially Olympic gold medalist, and just to try and win as many races as possible. And really a kind of a female equivalent, if you like, of someone like Mark Cavendish.
I enjoy winning, but obviously that doesn't always come. I love the thrill at the end of the races, knowing that you've got a chance to win. I do get nervous. The worst nerves I've ever had was before the second World Championships that I did. I remember being in the camper van and completely breaking down into tears, actually. It was a lot of emotions coming at once, but yeah, you have to contain them and then, yeah, get your sort of race head on. Every race is different. A lot of the races where I have the sprint finish and I know that I can win, I am extremely, extremely nervous. But then before a race where I'm working for someone else, then that's completely different nerves. Making sure that I know exactly what I have to do at the right time for the rider who I'm trying to help win. I have quite a bad habit of being on the start line and yawning a lot, which doesn't mean I'm tired, it means that I'm kind of nervous. So if you ever see me yawning on the telly, then don't think I'm sort of bored or anything, no, it's just nerves. It can be scary, and when you see pretty dangerous crashes, then yeah, it does make you a bit sort of wary of taking, say, corners, or when it's raining and you've got a really slippy descent, then yeah, I've had many crashes where it isn't my fault and you just got to get back on and carry on.
There's a lot of focus, a lot of pressure on her already. As a professional cyclist, she's moved to Holland, moved away from her family, her friends, and she's dealt with that incredibly well.
I miss my family most. I think that's one thing I sort of took for granted living at home. My mum sort of did everything for me and my parents took me everywhere, so I really appreciate what they did when I was younger. I definitely miss going out with my friends, I think, but also I know that this is sort of a good path that I'm going on, and I'm really sort of taking the opportunity that I'm getting.
She's, you know, first and foremost just a fan of cycling, and she really is living her dream at the moment, being able to live on the continent, to race professionally, to be part of an amazing setup, and she has great ambition and a great future in the sport.
The most important is that you know that you've done your training. I had two coaches early on in my season who had a lot of belief in me and sort of got me to where I was. And I think if you do all the hours that you have to, what your coach is setting you, then you can't do any more. You know that you've done what you've had to have done. The reason that I started cycling and joined my first club was because it was such a social sport. I think it's really nice that you can go out training, just riding, no effort, that you can do it with your friends, you can do it with your teammates. You can go out and you can talk for the whole ride, and I think that's something that's really nice about the sport, that it is so social. I think a lot of people don't realise how much of a team sport it is, and you can't get to the end of the race without your teammates there helping and supporting. I think that's definitely one of the biggest perks, being able to celebrate it with people that work so hard for you. I think as a sprinter you want to do the best that you can and you want to get to the finish first, and the whole race, the team is riding for you, so that's what you want to finish that work off that they've done, because they've done a massive job and they've sort of sacrificed their race for you, so that's pretty important. You want to make sure you do the best for them as well as yourself.
I think I learned as much from my defeats and disappointments as I did from the wins. You know, when you win, and if you keep winning all the time, you become frightened to change anything because you think you've got a winning formula. But what I realised was that you have to keep tweaking things and changing things because you want to improve. You're not trying to do the same thing every year, you're trying to get better every year. So when I lost a race, or if I lost a world title, I would think, well, I've got nothing to lose now because I'm not the best in the world, I have to go back to the drawing board. And it's not about changing everything, it was about tweaking and just little alterations. And so much of the time it was about your psychological state, about your attitude, about your morale. And physically, you're always training as hard as you can, and I'm sure it's the same for you. You know, you'll go out every day, you'll put everything you can physically into it.
My proudest moment is definitely winning the first World Championships. That's definitely one of the proudest moments, but also the second one, because I sort of had to wear the rainbow jersey the whole year, and yeah, I felt like I have to prove myself a lot because I was wearing that. So to win it again, I was completely over the moon.
Talented, determined. Lucy Garner has the potential to become one of the greatest road sprinters in her generation.
Enjoy Sky Sports Live. On all screens, on the go, and the best bits on demand.